So today we're going to talk about aging a deer on the hoof. I don't think you can be spot on every time and say, well, this is undoubtedly a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old. Our objective, in my opinion, is to just make sure that that buck is mature. Bucks reach maturity between 5 and 7, the average buck does, but we want to identify, hey, he's at least a 4-year-old, he's at least a 3-year-old, and you want to make sure, again, a buck is going to do their largest jump in antler development between 3 and 4 years old most of the time. Inside the bell curve, that's going to be the truth. So we want to identify, in my opinion, to make sure that we are at least killing something that's older than a 3-year-old. Okay, the argument between 4 and 5 can be really dramatic with a lot of people. There's nothing wrong either way, depending on what you want to do on your own particular farm. But we want to get them past 3 years old so they have the chance to reach the majority of their genetic potential for antler development, right? So some of the things that I look for when I'm aging a deer on the hoof is I want to look at that, how deep their chest is in the front compared to their hind quarter. Younger bucks tend to be built more like a thoroughbred, and older bucks tend to be built more like a quarter horse. So they have deep chest, their legs look short compared to their body, versus a young buck is going to have long legs compared to their bodies. An older buck is going to have, their neck is going to tie in deeper into the brisket than a young buck will. And those are the things that I look for the main topics. Obviously, the older buck you get the back swag, you get the belly swag, but really trying to identify, how deep is their chest compared to their rear, and do they have that belly swag, and what do their legs look like compared to their body? If their legs look extremely long compared to their body depth, you probably are dealing with a buck that's less than 3 years, that's 3 years old or less. I'm not trying to make sure I'm getting a 4 to a 5 and say this buck's 6 or this buck's 5. Is he older than 3? Is he older than 4, or is he older than 5? Another good way is, as you got your property and you've been managing it for several years, you're going to have pictures of these bucks, right? So you know, hey, I've had pictures of him for the last 3 years. Well, he's at least 3. He's probably older than that since you started identifying. So aging them on the hoof and also going through your pictures and having that history of pictures will help you make sure that you're shooting older age class bucks.